We actually learned that we had a lot of unlearning to do because we unknowingly were just trying to implement or usher in these things the way that we'd always done them. And we actually had to try and fail or question ourselves to go, well, why are we doing it like this? This is the way we've always done it. But that's just because we inherited that model or that way of thinking. How could we think about this better, and more like missionaries in our context instead of just doing church as normal. So
it's like Mike Tyson said, right? That everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Yeah. Every church pastor has a plan and a strategy for church in the conference room. And then it goes out in the streets. It's like, well, all right. So I know for me, the first time I ever heard the term microchurch was from a church that my mom actually attended in Florida. She took me to church with her when I was down there visiting. And this was probably 10 or 15 years ago. And that church was like a traditional, like attractional model church on Sundays with like multiple campuses. But then their small group structures, they called microchurches. And I was like, what the heck is a microchurch? And their like kind of modality, it was essentially them really trying to emphasize their small groups and that these microchurches were kind of missionally based, right? It wasn't just for groups of smaller numbers of people that are already in the church, but groups of people in the church actually trying to go and be the salt of the earth in the community, right? And I was like, wow, I like that idea. And then later on, I stumbled across several other people and groups and kind of movements that were doing similar things, 3DM in Europe, and then Tampa Underground down in Tampa. And I've come to find out that the guy who started Tampa, Brian Sanders, is like childhood best friends with the guy who leads the church in Gainesville, Florida, where I first heard the term microchurch. And I didn't find out until 10 years later that, there's some of these connections being made. But for me, it was just born out of this growing, whatever the word is, like dissatisfaction, frustration, discontentment with the lack of what I perceive to be the formation of Jesus in people's lives.